In a bustling city where the hum of electric vehicles and the chatter of morning commuters filled the air, a young man named Alex trudged along the cracked pavement. At 28, his face bore the marks of a life spent in relentless pursuit. Deep lines creased his forehead, and his dark eyes reflected a blend of determination and exhaustion that seemed eternal. Clad in a clean uniform emblazoned with the logo of Hartman Industries, one of the city's largest employers, he preserved every ounce of energy for the long walk ahead. Every morning, Alex embarked on a 12-mile journey to reach the factory, and each step was a reminder of the sacrifices he made for a better future. The morning commute was a bittersweet solace, a time when the world was still waking up, and he could almost convince himself he was walking towards something greater than just another shift on the assembly line. He had memorized every crack in the sidewalk, every shortcut through abandoned lots, and the rhythm of his footsteps became a familiar friend. Yet today felt different. As he rounded a corner near the industrial district, an unsettling sensation crept over him. He felt eyes watching him, a piercing gaze that stirred an instinctive unease. He quickened his pace, his heart pounding not just from the exertion but from the feeling that something significant was about to unfold. Inside the break room of Hartman Industries, the facilities manager, Thomas Hale, adjusted his work clothes, feeling the scratchy fabric against his skin. At 60, Thomas had spent the past week undercover, part of a new initiative to connect with employees better. However, what he had uncovered was far from what he had anticipated. When one of the line workers called out to him, asking if Alex had arrived yet, Thomas couldn't help but shake his head. He had noticed the young man's peculiar routine, always the first to arrive and yet perpetually out of breath, as if he had run a marathon every morning. Curiosity gnawed at Thomas, pushing him to dig deeper into Alex's life. The young man's immaculate uniform contrasted sharply with his worn-out shoes, telling a story of long walks and relentless determination. This morning, Thomas resolved to uncover the truth. What he discovered shook him to his core. Alex walked 24 miles every day, rain or shine, just to keep his job. As Alex entered the break room, he appeared as composed as ever, his hair neatly combed despite the demanding journey. Yet, the tremor in his hands and the way he carefully lowered himself into a chair betrayed his fatigue. "Morning, Tom," he greeted with a friendly smile, masking the exhaustion that lay beneath. Thomas noticed something unusual as well. Alex's lunch bag was empty, save for a worn paperback book titled Principles of Business Management. "Studying?" Thomas asked casually while wiping down a table. Alex's face lit up with enthusiasm. "Yeah, I'm taking classes online whenever I can. I hope to move up in the company someday." His laughter was genuine, devoid of self-pity, brimming with hope and ambition. The break room soon filled with other workers, and Alex tucked his book away, heading to his station. That evening, Thomas discreetly followed Alex as he made his long trek home. Watching the young man walk mile after mile, long after others had driven home to their families, stirred something deep within him, a recognition of the same determined walk he had seen before. Back in his modest apartment, Thomas sorted through information about Alex, feeling the weight of memories flood back. He opened Alex's employment records, noting his exemplary attendance and unwavering dedication. A knot formed in his stomach as he recalled a similar name from the past, Marcus Carter, a floor manager from a factory that had closed 15 years ago. The realization hit hard. Alex was Marcus's son. Thomas's mind raced back to that fateful day when he had sat in a boardroom, making the decision that had rippled through countless lives. "We're losing too much money," he had insisted, dismissing the pleas for more time to secure contracts. He had been young, hungry for success, blind to the lives affected by his decisions. Now, he felt the heavy burden of guilt. The next day, he returned to the factory, determined to make amends. Over the past week, he had observed Alex's character, his integrity, his commitment, and his quiet strength. Each interaction revealed layers of complexity that both impressed and haunted Thomas. One afternoon, he orchestrated a test, dropping a wallet filled with cash in front of Alex, who immediately turned it in without a second thought. Later, during a heated discussion among workers about management's disconnect, Thomas cringed, waiting for Alex to voice his frustration. Instead, Alex replied, "The company kept my sister in college when we thought we'd lose everything. It's not perfect, but they give people a chance." Thomas realized then that Alex embodied resilience, shaped by the struggles of his past. That night, as Alex began his long walk home, Thomas arranged for a driver to offer him a ride, but Alex politely declined. "I have to earn my way," he said firmly. As the days passed, Thomas felt more compelled to act. He began re-evaluating the company's approach to its workers and the decisions that had been made in the name of profit. Then came the stormy night when Alex collapsed on his walk home, exhausted and soaked to the bone. Thomas rushed to help him, calling for an ambulance despite Alex's protests. At the hospital, the reports confirmed Thomas's worst fears: Alex had been starving himself to support his sister's education. As the young man lay in the hospital bed, Thomas watched the reunion between Alex and his sister, Sarah. The weight of their struggles bore down on him. He couldn't help but reflect on all the families affected by the decisions he had made years ago. In that moment, he made a vow to change, not just for Alex and Sarah, but for all the families tied to Hartman Industries. The next morning, Thomas stood before the company's board, ready to propose a new direction. He spoke passionately about the need to honor the legacy of those like Marcus Carter. He advocated for programs to support employees and their families, emphasizing the importance of community over profit margins. Months later, the Marcus Carter Memorial Scholarship Fund was established, ensuring that children of employees could pursue their education without the burden of debt. Alex was promoted to operations manager, a position that recognized his hard work and dedication. He stood proud, knowing that he had earned it through perseverance and integrity. As he walked through the new facility named after his father, Alex felt a sense of belonging. The company had transformed, focusing not just on profits but on people and their stories. Each step he took echoed with the lessons his father had instilled in him: the importance of dignity, hard work, and the belief that every challenge could be overcome. One evening, as he prepared to leave the factory, he glanced at the plaque honoring Marcus Carter. It was a testament to resilience and hope, a reminder of the journey they had all taken together. The road ahead was bright, filled with promise and community, and Alex knew that the legacy of his father would continue to inspire future generations. With a smile, he stepped out into the cool night air, grateful for the path he had walked and the lives he had touched along the way. As he began his walk home, he understood that success was not measured in miles but in the impact made on others. Everything was earned, and he was determined to carry that legacy forward. As the weeks turned into months, Alex found himself immersed in his role as operations manager. He initiated new training programs, empowering employees to rise within the company. He introduced mentorship opportunities, pairing seasoned workers with newcomers to share knowledge and support. The factory buzzed with a renewed energy, a sense of community blossoming in the workplace. One day, as he walked through the assembly line, he overheard two workers discussing their hopes and dreams. Inspired, Alex decided to organize a company-wide meeting to encourage employees to share their stories. He believed that understanding each other's journeys would foster a deeper connection among the workforce. The day of the meeting arrived, and the room was filled with nervous anticipation. Alex stood at the podium, his heart racing. "Today, I want us to share not just our work but our lives," he began. "Every one of us has a story that shapes who we are. Let's celebrate our resilience and inspire one another." As employees took turns sharing their experiences, the atmosphere shifted from one of anxiety to camaraderie. Laughter and tears mingled as they recounted their struggles and triumphs. Alex felt a profound sense of fulfillment as he witnessed the bonds forming among his colleagues. After the meeting, Sarah approached Alex with a grateful smile. "You've changed everything for our family," she said, her eyes glistening with emotion. I never thought I'd have the chance to go to college, but now it feels possible." Alex's heart swelled with pride, knowing that he was making a difference. With Sarah thriving in her studies, Alex felt a renewed sense of purpose. He began to mentor her, sharing insights from his own experiences. They often spent evenings discussing her coursework, and Alex encouraged her to pursue her passions fearlessly. One day, while walking home, Alex received a call from Thomas. "I have exciting news," Thomas said, his voice filled with enthusiasm. "We're expanding the scholarship fund to include vocational training programs. We want to ensure everyone has the opportunity to succeed, regardless of their path." Alex's heart raced with excitement. "That's incredible, Tom. This will change so many lives." As the company flourished, so did Alex and Sarah's relationship. They became advocates for change within the community, speaking at local events about the importance of education and resilience. Their story resonated with others, inspiring young people to pursue their dreams despite the obstacles they faced. Months turned into a year, and the factory celebrated its anniversary with a grand event. Employees gathered to reflect on their collective journey, and Alex stood before them, a sense of pride swelling in his chest. "Today, we celebrate not just our achievements but the strength of our community," he declared. As the crowd erupted in applause, Alex felt a sense of gratitude wash over him. He had walked 24 miles every day, not just for himself but for everyone who believed in the power of perseverance. The legacy of his father, Marcus Carter, lived on, and Alex was determined to honor it for generations to come. With the sun setting behind the factory, casting a warm glow over the parking lot, Alex took a moment to breathe in the fresh air. He looked up at the sky, feeling a connection to his father. "Thank you, Dad," he whispered. "I hope I've made you proud." In that moment, he understood that the journey was not just about the miles covered but the lives touched, the promises kept, and the legacy honored. And as he began his walk home, he felt a sense of purpose guiding him forward, ready to embrace whatever came next.